know which cantos, Chaitanya?
No, I don't remember.
Okay.
It's in the chapter called Beta Kirtans.
Acha.
So in that chapter it describes how the different kirtan groups were organized. It describes them as having 6 kirtan leaders simultaneously leading. That means they have to know
What they're singing.
They're made just like I'm kind of like the lead. I give direction to the leaders to lead the tune, and then there were 6 lead responders. There were leaders, and then there were lead responders. In other words, because there's thousands of people, so 6 lead responders who are around who know how to follow the tune. So when they're following the tune, then it's easier for the others to pick up on where they're going with it. So 6 kirtan leaders, 6 lead responders, 4 mridungas, and 16 pairs of kartals in each group. It's described like that.
How many groups like that? How many groups?
7 groups.
Like that?
Yeah, there were 7 groups like that.
Amazing.
Organized like that. So I find, first of all, if all the kirtan, like if there's one man hogging the mic, so to speak, then some vanity may come that I am the kirtan leader. But when Krishna is merciful and breaks your voice down so you can't be the kirtan leader anymore, then we find that humbly accepting the position of being dependent on the help of others, it makes for a much better kirtan ultimately. Even though their singing may not be as good as what my singing used to be or whatever. Some of them are singing better actually, but some of them don't hear nicely enough to follow the tunes that I would prefer, and they have a tendency to second guess where I'm going to go with it and don't actually hear or anticipate properly. So then sometimes there's a little mistake, but overall
that's wonderful.
It's a much better atmosphere because no one's thinking that I'm the kirtan leader.
That's a problem.
So there's a lot less false egoism involved, and there's a lot more of a selfless service attitude involved. Where there's.
Is this written in your books that's going to come up?
No, not this time.
This is very important because the false ego will kill the mood.
Yeah, well, I mean, that these kind of things I touched on, but just the point of having, a group. But I've always found, at least in the last few years, I've found that getting together and having 5, 6, 8, 10, kirtan leaders leading all at once. Tunes have to be simplified a little in order to accomplish that, but if they're leading all at once, of course sometimes the lead is even more powerful than the response, but because everyone wants to jump in and help out, and then there's no one left to respond, Sometimes that happens. But you can purposely divide up and say, okay, you guys lead the response and you guys help with the lead. And that way I always felt that it's definitely a more powerful presentation. Purity is the force, so the more pure it is, the more powerful it's going to be. Even spiritually speaking like that, and materially speaking, if you have 6 voices, wailing at the top of their lungs, it's going to be louder than one voice.
So do the group, how frequent they should practice together? Like we're in US.
Every day.
Oh, That's not
practice.
possible.
Not practice.
Sing
By
together.
performing kirtan.
Mhm.
Practice
In front of
on the job.
Yes.
Tesham satatiyuktana bhajatam priti-purvakam dadami buddhi-yogam. Krishna gives the intelligence how to do it nicely if you're constantly engaged. Satatiyuktana. At least regularly. Nitya-yuktana. Not constantly. Then Krishna helps from within how to do it nicely. So there's no real need to practice. Just by doing it.
Live and coordinate. Day by day improve.
Yeah. Then you become more familiar and more, adept. I never, hardly ever sit down and work something out.
Okay.
So all spontaneous. Just like what we did. We started on the tune which we sing, the Sri Guru Charana Padma.
Today.
Yeah, but then it drifted into another realm. And then back.
Amazing.
Spontaneously put it together, and it makes for more spontaneous, inspirational.
And I have a question. In ragas, for example, Bilawal, they sing in the Mangalarti time, and the different ragas for different times. Sometimes do you keep that in mind when you sing?
Yeah, sometimes.
Okay.
But not always. Because my precedence is the passage in Govinda Lilamrita where the gopis and Krishna, during the Rasa Leela in the middle of the night, they were singing all ragas without any consideration of time or season. And they sang hundreds of ragas. It's described. All the different, at least many of the different ragas that they were singing are described in Govinda Lilamrita. And the different types of rhythms and whatnot are all described there. And it even describes how their rhythmic programming was very complex. It wasn't simple stuff. Whatever complex, singing and rhythmic instrumentation that Lord Brahma and all the